What is going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 15. I'm your host, Matt, not Nick. This is episode 15 of For Better or Worse. It's going to be a little different today. Nick is unfortunately out today. We want to stick to the schedule. He's feeling under the weather. So wish him best of luck. He should be back on Monday, no worries. But for now, I'm going to take over the total show for the day and do a little mini episode. Some of you guys may rejoice and be doing victory laps around your room, and some of you guys may just turn this off. But either way, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys stick around for this. It's not going to be a long episode, just going to run through some quick things. So I do want to talk about the Lightning versus Rangers Game 5. We'll get to that in a little bit. We're going to talk about the NBA Finals Game 3 recap, and then also Game 4, which is happening tonight. And then we'll get into the MLB slate and anything else that comes into my mind, really. We're just going to jump off that. So off the bat, I guess let's start with hockey. The Lightning Rangers Game 5. Okay. This was 2-2 series. The Rangers won both at home, went up 2-0. A lot of people just wrote the Lightning off. Honestly, a little bit myself until Braden Point came back. Or he didn't come back yet, but I was like, if they don't get him back, it's going to be tough for them to win. They ended up winning both games in Tampa, and then they just won last night in New York in a tough game, not a lot of shots. FanDuel definitely got some money back on some shot props. We did cash Chiarelli as a straight, but the game was good. The Rangers definitely could have won that game, but the Lightning hit a lot of posts in the first period as well. Could have gone either way. It is what it is. And the Rangers are, like I said before, they're playing with house money because, they've already overachieved. So at this point, they shouldn't, hold their heads down if they do lose this series. Obviously, they could still win it, but being down 3-2, I think the record's whoever wins Game 5 in a 2-2 series wins 70% of the time. And they do have to win in Tampa for Game 6. So should be a tough one. I don't know if the Rangers can pull it out, but we'll see. I mean, they've also won every single time that their backs have been against the wall. So, until they don't, I guess they're always in the mix. Going to the NBA Finals Game 3 recap. I told you guys the other episode that Kevon Looney, when he scores over his points, the Warriors win the game. So Steve Kerr, I don't know if you watched the episode. You should probably watch again because the Warriors lost. And what do you know? Kevon Looney stuck at 6, his over-under 6.5. We actually would have cashed that long shot lay for $10 for 1,000 had Kevon Looney stayed in the game, but Kerr decided to go smaller because they were losing most of the game, even though they're getting destroyed on the offensive boards and defensive boards. I'm obviously not an NBA coach, but it did hurt our parlay. But it seemed like they needed another bigger guy out there just to, help with defense and win some boards. I think they won the offensive rebound and defensive rebound margin by a lot. That being said, the Celtics are good, man. Steph had 31, Clay had 25, Wiggins had 18. They still came up short. That's tough. I mean, that just shows me that, if they all have the repeat games of Steph 30, Clay 25, Wiggins 20, and they still lose like that, it may be the Celtics are just the better team. Because, if you have two stars, if Jaylen Brown gives you 25 and Jason Tatum gives you 31 and Marcus Smart gives you 18, you don't think the Celtics are going to lose that game. So it might just be undermanned. I think the Warriors have a problem because Jordan Poole has been such a successful young player for them, but against the Celtics doesn't work out because him and Steph Curry are both defensive liabilities. I know everyone's been saying, oh, Steph's defense gotten better and better and better. Until they stop targeting you and until they stop scoring on you, I'm going to have to keep the narrative that he's not the best defender, which he's not. Maybe he's gotten better than being atrocious in years past, but people are still targeting him on offense. And until that changes, they're not going to win games. You can't have Poole and Steph both out there because then any matchup just works. So it's nice to see the Celtics playing well. I love Jaylen Brown as a player. I think Jaylen Brown is the best two-way player in the series. I understand Steph and Jason Tatum may arguably be better offensively and Smart probably better defensively, but as far as one guy who could do both, Jaylen Brown has been consistent even since the early early series, and now he's still consistent through the NBA Finals. He started off hot. He really was their guy in Game 3, even though it didn't seem like it down the stretch. So I don't know if the Warriors can win this game. I think Draymond, like he said in his interview, is going to have to be more aggressive. So one thing I was looking at was Draymond Green over 7.5 points. I fouled out. People were trashing him on Twitter. One thing about Draymond is that he does love storylines. He loves to be in the media, which I personally respect and I love. That being said, I think he's going to bounce back and use that kind of as fuel and motivation that kind of fits his mold. So I think over 7.5 points, I'm never high on betting Draymond over points anytime, but he basically said in his interview, he's got to be more aggressive if they want to win. So I think I'm going to lean towards Draymond Green over 7.5 points, maybe sprinkle a 10 plus in a long shot lay. We'll see. I still lean the Celtics -4. I just think the series is over in 6. I think Celtics win this game, go up 3-1, goes back to Golden State. Golden State wins that one, defends home court, and then the Celtics win in the Garden in 6 games. That's kind of just the way I see it. I may have a long shot lay on Twitter for you guys and on the chalkboard, obviously. Also, shout out Chalkboard for giving me this Rafael Devers jersey. I know he fell up short last night, but we're still crazy positive betting his over bases. So shout out Chalkboard. Join our Chalkboard if you haven't yet. Just some more bonus access to me and Nick's picks, us going back and forth with our banter and things like that. So if you do not download Chalkboard, you can see us on Twitter. You could look on Chalkboard, click our link and download it and join. There's about 5,000 people in there. We'd love to have some more. So that's always an option. Going to the MLB slate. I did some things a little bit. I did a little bit of a brief overview. Some odds aren't out yet. The Mets game wasn't up yet. I really wanted to look at Tyler McGill's over strikeouts. But, it is our 15th episode. I was trying to get some 5s to try to make that a little special. But one thing I did come up with was Jose Barrios over 4.5 strikeouts. I think it's -140. A lot of juice, but I like it at 5. I'd rather win than maybe go for a 6. Either way, I think he gets it. Maybe you could sprinkle a little ladder to the other way to 6. He's not really known for striking people out this year at all. It's just kind of the way he's done things. He does love pitching against righties. His ISO, obviously, as we say, lefties versus Jose Barrios Day is very bad. His ISO versus righties is actually fairly good. So he also strikes out more righties than lefties. That's just because it's the righty on righty matchup. And this Tigers team strikes out a lot. I mean, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 great targets and 3 about medium ones. And he's probably not going to strike out Meadows, but all he needs is 5. He could probably get this up through the first go around. I think he'll definitely get this on the second go around. I don't think he needs to pitch 7 innings to get that number. So I would jump all on that. I think it's going to move to 5.5. Another guy in the same game I was looking at was Vlad Jr. Against Rodriguez. Rodriguez has been getting torched. I mean, he has ridiculous ISOs, small plate appearances, but it's not looking good for the young guy. And he throws a slider 36% of the time to righties. And Vlad Jr. with 110 batted ball events has a 295 ISO, which is just very consistent, very hard, good hard hit percentage. So I may make Vlad Jr. official on his over 1.5 bases. I'm trying to find the odds. So we'll see. A little tip also, FanDuel probably has the worst total bases odds in general, but they do usually have the best strikeout odds. So keep that in mind when you're doing some stuff like this, just so you know. Let's see. Yeah, so Jose Barrios over 4.5 is -170 on DraftKings. However, on FanDuel, it's -140. So I'm going to lock in that -140. I may even tweet it out live on this podcast, but snag it while it gets uploaded. I'll make sure to post it beforehand, obviously. And then Kyle Gibson over 4.5 strikeouts. He pitches for the Phillies. He's facing the Diamondbacks, who strike out a lot. At 7 o'clock. Both games are on at the same time. So if you bet both of them, grab some popcorn, have a couple drinks, and keep flipping through the channels. The Diamondbacks strike out a lot as well. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good targets and 3 good targets. 5 great targets, 3 good targets. He's been a little more consistent striking out people this year. Again, 28% to righties, though, and only 13% to lefties. There are a lot of lefties in the Diamondbacks lineup, but either way, they strike out way too much for my liking. I mean, they're going to strike out regardless. So if Kyle Gibson, gets a hold of those righties, I think he'll have a day. So only 4.5 is not bad at all. And I have his game log right here. He only had 3 against the Angels, but he gave up 5 runs. So he pitched 3 innings, had 3 strikeouts. Only had 4 against the Giants, but the Giants don't strike out too much. It's not really a great target. But when he does have the good targets like the Padres and the Braves, he has 8 and 7. He only had 3 against the Mets both times, but they don't really strike out a lot either. Same with Colorado. And then you see Miami and Oakland. He had 6 strikeouts and 10 strikeouts. So it seems like on the good matchups, he's performing, which today is a good matchup. 4.5 is only minus 110. I actually love that spot. And he only pitched 70 pitches last game, so he should be really fresh. He got blown up versus the Angels, which happens sometimes. It is what it is. They did win the game 9-7, but he did give up 5 runs. So only coming off 70 pitches, he's probably going to go 100 if they let him, if he's, not giving up runs. So I really like that spot for, Kyle Gibson. As far as everything else, it's a little bit of a slow day for me. You do have Yordan Alvarez playing for my Mount Rushmore guys, but he's going up against Pablo Lopez. So I'm kind of torn because I love Pablo Lopez, but I also love Yordan. So I think Lopez can handle Yordan, but at the end of the day, Yordan is Yordan. And Lopez does throw the pitches that Yordan likes. So Pablo's going to throw Yordan a little bit of the cutter, a little bit of the changeup that he's been hitting recently. So it should be really interesting. I may make it official. I may not. We're 8-1 betting Yordan props this year, so I don't want to risk it on a forced play. But I will have some basketball out later, and I will have some baseball besides the Gibson and the Berrios. But for now, it's just Berrios and Gibson over 4.5 strikeouts. I don't really know what else I can get into until the odds come out. I will give Nick all the credit. This is a lot harder to do by myself than I anticipated. But again, I wanted to keep the schedule. I did want to do a Dick of the Week. And this is on the spot, really on the spot. And I'll give this Dick of the Week for Nick. You know what? I'm debating between Eovaldi for Nick because he did get a little bit of an injury, got pulled when he probably shouldn't have. He was probably going to hit his strikeout props. Or I could do Steve Kerr. And I think I'm leaning Steve Kerr just because Nick can't vouch for him today. My Dick of the Week, drum roll please. Thanks, bud. Is Steve Kerr. My Dick of the Week is Steve Kerr. That's because he played Kevon Looney a very, very short amount of minutes. I'm going to look at the game log exactly to see how many minutes he played. But he scored the first basket. He was playing well. He played 17 minutes. He's played 25, 21. He played 17 last game. Steve Kerr, you ruined our long shot bets. I don't know what you were doing. You lost by 16. Draymond Green even fouled out, and you still didn't put that guy in. We only needed 4 more points to turn $10 into $1,000. So Steve Kerr, I think you're working for the books. I think you knew to not play him a lot. And for that reason, you are the Dick of the Week for this Friday's episode. Steve Kerr, congratulations. Best of luck in game 4, but honestly, not really because I'm so mad at you. You are the undisputed Dick of the Week. Hopefully someone next time can take that title from you. But if you do that to us again, I'm just going to keep you on for round 2 so you can sit on that throne of Dick of the Week for another week. All right. I think people agree with that. People got screwed. People hate you. They wanted to blame Looney. No, I'm looking past that. I'm looking past your mirage that you put up that blocked everyone from seeing who the real villain is. It's Steve Kerr. So you better focus on this game. Again, if you want a little tip, even though you're Dick of the Week, just play Kevon Looney. When he scores over his points, you win games. It's happened eight games in a row now. So you tell me if you want to win the finals or not, Steve. We're on a first-name basis. It is what it is. And also, I do want people to, in the comments, answer this question. Who is the finals MVP up to now? Whether the Warriors win or the Celtics win, give me both MVPs. If Clay has more monster games, is Clay going to take over? Or did Steph already cement himself as the Warriors MVP? Has Jaylen Brown done enough to be the finals MVP, or even a Marcus Smart, or is it going to be Tatum? Let me know in the comments what you guys think. I want to see some interaction there because I do think that Jaylen Brown might deserve it a little bit. Maybe another oddball guy, but there's still going to be some games left, so maybe we can find some value in it. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to post more MLB plays, and that's going to be it for this episode of For Better or Worse. This is episode 15. Again, guys, we'll have Nick back on Monday for an episode 16. By then, we'll see if the Lightning had won in game 6 of the Stanley Cup. Hopefully, we can talk about the Avs versus the Lightning or the Rangers, whoever it is, and maybe we'll have an NBA Finals, winner on that day. So we'll see. A lot of MLB to go through later on. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys. We're going to have more stuff coming through. We just ordered stuff for the Death Wheel. We have more fun segments coming in. This is just me running through my plays to keep the schedule, keep some content going. But we're going to have more fun segments. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow both of us on Twitter, download Chalkboard. And that's been it for now. Hopefully my ranting and my plays have helped you and will help you, for better or worse. I'm your host today, Matty Chucks. I'll go back to Nick on Monday. See you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.